Thank you guys. Thanks for coming, man. Means a lot. Especially during these difficult times, right? It's sad things are happening all around. A lot of people are getting married and all. Even people who said like marriage is for losers are now like winners are going to die alone, bro. I'll rather be a loser. Just to balance it out, a lot of people are getting divorces as well, right? I don't know about you all. That's what makes me happy. Every time someone gets a divorce, I'm like, yeah, there is hope in this universe. More single people again. Not even kidding. One of my best friends, she got married during the first wave and then got divorced during the second wave. It's a true story. I'm not making this up. It was literally like the divorce was a third vaccine or something. I even asked her, I was like, hey, what did you take, Covaxin or Covishield? She was like, no, I took alimony. Like, good job. Keeps you safer than most other vaccines, right? A lot of people are having kids as well. That's the new thing. People who said like, oh, kids are all so annoying, man, are now like, oh, not my kid. He's a cutie. His name is hypocrisy. That's how they react, right? Like, I don't have a problem with people having kids. My problem is with the confidence with which they think they can be great parents. Oh, I went to a birthday party recently, first year kid's birthday party, and the parents were dressed up in a t-shirt that said, best dad, best mom. I was like, let the kid decide, no? He hasn't even developed a vocal cord yet. Ideally, the kid should be wearing a t-shirt that says best sperm. Man, like, I'm like every parent, like the first kid itself, they're like, oh, I'm going to ace it. At least have a few more kids, no? And then you can be like, yeah, I am a decent parent now. That's what our grandparents did, right? The first few kids were just warm-up sessions for them. Only by the 5th or 6th kid, they were like, oh, we have to provide them education also. Now everyone has that first kid and they're like already like, oh, I'm going to raise a smart and intelligent kid who's going to love and respect me. I'm like, bro, only one of those two options are possible. If he's really smart, he's not going to love you. And if he really loves you... Yeah, I mean, I didn't say this, you just said it. I'm telling you, only dumb kids love their parents. Smart kids don't have the time, man. They are busy chasing a passion, like building a business or running a scam. If you don't believe me, like, here's a fun fact. Sundar Pichai, CEO of Google, one of the smartest citizens in the country, hasn't visited his parents in 7 years. On the contrary, the Prime Minister of the country. See, I'm not saying what you think I am saying. But I'm just saying. These are not opinions, these are just facts, right? And I think they are true because I read it on Quora. I don't know, if you have any of your parents, here's my secret to good parenting. Make sure that your kids are stupid. So they don't realize you are bad parents. No, I know this because all throughout my childhood I was thinking, why am I stupid? Why am I stupid? Now I know. My parents planned it and they planned it so well, man. Even as a kid, I used to grow up in Chennai, okay? I used to love beaches. Once I went to my father, I told him, Appa, I want to go to the beach this weekend. And he was like, Navin, you can't go to the beach this weekend because the beach will be closed over the weekend. Just like your school. And I tried to be a smart kid. I was like, how can they close the beach? He even started explaining me. He was like, every Friday night, there's a huge gate that falls from the heaven onto the beach. And there is a big lock in the Balaji temple nearby that they lock it with. And then they will give the keys to Karunanidhi uncle, who is a very strict uncle. He will never give you the keys. And I was so convinced, I never asked my father to take me to the beach ever again. But for the longest time, I thought Karunanidhi was a watchman at the Marina Beach. So even later when I found out that he was the chief minister, I was still like, oh, this is a rags to riches story. No, Rajnikant was a bus conductor, Karunanidhi was a watchman. This is a great state I come from, bro. I don't know if you guys don't know Karunanidhi, like he was a politician, and he passed away recently, a few years back, which is a sad thing. But ironically, his body is right now buried in the same beach. Which makes him the actual guardian of the beach, right? Now I am like, my father was a visionary. 20 years back only he predicted all this shit. But like I said, I'm from Chennai and I'm also dark complexion. Which I think is the best combination of being a South Indian in India. Because sometimes people try to be racist to me, but I just see them as facts. Like recently a guy shouted at me. He was like, "Hey, Kaala, Madrasi." And I was like, "Hey, exactly." 100 points for you, sir. How did you get all of it right? I am Kaala, I am Madrasi, and you are an accurate racist. I can't be offended, right? Like, that's why I'm not against stereotypes. I think stereotypes are funny, except when people use stereotypes to their advantage. No. Like, I was talking to a friend recently who was becoming an alcoholic. So I was like, dude, you have to cut down on your alcohol. And he was like, no, man, I can't. I'm a true Malayali. And I was like, no, bro, you're a true asshole. That's what you are. Your ethnicity is 2,000 years old. Old monk is 60 years old. How are you connecting both of these, man? And people do it all the time, right? My cook in Bangalore, amazing cook, and her idea of trying to impress 3 South Indians in the house is to make us ghee masala dosa, sided with paneer butter masala, which she thinks is sambar. Every time I'm like, Didi, who puts paneer in sambar? She's like, we do. I'm like, okay, Didi, do whatever you want. I don't want to fight for it. But if there's one stereotype that's true, that's the only stereotype. Punjabis are very strong. And I know this because once after a show, Sardar came to me and was like, Navin, he shook my hands and he was like, Navin, good job. Keep doing what you're doing. And his hands were so strong, I couldn't hold the mic for the next 3 days. I literally couldn't do what I was doing. The irony of that appreciation. Dude, like the worst thing is sometimes people make up their own stereotype and they still can't figure out. Okay? Because we are obsessed with our own culture and identities. We have very little idea about others, right? I remember like 2 years back, I went on this date, okay? They're talking. Is that a date? Even though break up with her, I don't care what it is. No, 2 years back I went on this date. We were talking about books and stuff, and this girl suddenly tells me, Navin, I'm a Bengali, so I don't read Harry Potter. And for a brief moment I was like, maybe it's a Bengali stereotype. Maybe Rabindranath Tagore asked them not to read Harry Potter. I have no idea about Bengalis, right? And then she started explaining me. She was like, Navin, as a Bengali, I'm a staunch communist. And I think Harry Potter is a pretty capitalistic book where all the proceedings only went to J.K. Rowling. Yeah. After listening to that logic, I started having more respect for my Mallu alcoholic friend. I was like, at least that guy didn't talk about Fidel Castro and all. Who is this girl, man? Dude, I got so annoyed with her. I wanted to teach her a lesson, right? So I started dating her. And then I made up my own stereotype. She had no idea either. So first week she was like, Navin, let's join the gym this week. I was like, hey, no, I'm a Tamilian. We don't go to gyms like that. Second week she was like, hey, Navin, do you want to make out tonight? And I was too tired. So I told her, hey, I'm a Tamilian. And today is Friday also. No way. Just to stay true to my character, I never made out with her on any Fridays. Which will be weird if you looked at my internet history during those 2 months. You guys would be like, what is this weird habit this guy has? That he watches porn only on Friday. And then I would be like, yeah, that's also a Tamil stereotype. Go on with life. Dude, I don't know about who she's dating now, but I did enough damage to make sure that she never dates any Tamilian ever again. Yeah, I saved my community from that idiot. I took one for the team, I'm the real savior, man. I hope you guys understand it's a slightly exaggerated joke. Some of you are looking at me, really? No Fridays? Oh my God, what did you do, bro? No, I have to address this because once after the show, a girl came to me and she was like, hey Navin, that thing about Tamilians and Fridays, is that a true thing? And I didn't want to ruin her relationship life, right? So I said, of course it's true. Fridays no sex, Saturdays only anal. That's how we roll, yo. Worst thing is, this girl was a Tamilian as well. I don't know what she understood from my joke, but I'm sure she went to her grandmother that night. And she was like, Grandma, do you know about Tamilians and Fridays? You know? Man. Honestly, I don't believe in any of these stereotypes. Actually, the only stereotype I believe in is what the National Pledge teaches us. You know, it says all Indians are equally good chutias. You know, just different kinds of chutias. Like, I think that was the first version. Later on, they added all the brother, sister, mother chod, behan chod, what all, like. I think that was the first step. They're just different assholes with different kinds of assholes, right? I know this because recently a friend of mine showed a video on Facebook. The video was of a Rajya Sabha MP addressing the parliament. And the MP says there are a lot of immigrants coming into India from Tamil Nadu. He meant to say Sri Lanka. He fucked up. He said Tamil Nadu and I was like, dude, what an asshole, man. And my friend started laughing. I was like, dude, why are you laughing? He was like, Navin, you know what's funny? This MP is from Arunachal Pradesh. He thinks he is part of India. I was like, what kind of an asshole are you, dude?